The Psychic Gym is upon us. How excited are you guys? Did you guys catch my enthusiasm in that for opening? I'm not excited. What's good? It's your boy Rico. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Duel. And the reason why I'm not excited is because I'm pretty sure from the data mine, the reward that we're getting is the normal Deoxys. Like, who wants that figure? That figure is completely outdated. It's completely irrelevant. I'm not even looking forward to this gym. I mean, I like that it's a gym. I like that I can get an 11 win streak just to brag, and the EX cube. But other than that, I have no interest in playing for a normal Deoxys. Before we get into today's episode, which features 2 duels, they're in the description below, on one figure in particular that I think you should be running in the gym. But before that, we have gotten collectively a total of 89 wins. I think that is awesome. The next time they do this, if they do this again, let's try and go for 100. But we are going to be getting these rewards, right? Like the 50 wins, 7 days, that daily. I wonder if that's actually now. Hold on, let's go take a look. Go to boosters. Oh yeah, and we got these special fire ones and the Gengar. If you didn't get the shiny Gengar, you guys can go get a Gengar. Oh, we do. We do got it. Ooh, let's see if we can pull something good. Hopefully we can pull the EX Banette or the Mega Banette, because I still don't have that. Oh. Okay, just to beat him. Okay. If you guys are looking for deck prep videos, please go watch K-Dub's video. He makes great deck prep videos, especially when the gyms are about to drop. I'll leave that in the link in the description below as well. And we have a bunch of stuff to open before we get into the match. And there is the one figure that I'm thinking that you guys should run is Nebby. I think Nebby creates a lot of pressure because it cannot be surrounded. It does have the teleport, and when you have that with Lele, it has a 4-star teleport. Now, when you're gonna be seeing lots of Lunalas, Marshadows, just lots of ghosts, lots of figures that can go through figures. It's gonna be heavy purple. I actually would like to see somebody running the shiny Ho-Oh. It would be interesting to see how that does in a deck, especially a fire deck. Actually, I actually played against Date with a fire deck and Arcanine. It was actually really good. And the Litwick being able to come off the bench, even if your entry points are sealed. So Sableye, the Phantom Energy, I mean, it was a really good deck, and we had a good match, and he beat me. But as a free-to-play player, I would advise using Vibrava, Curlias, Mr. Mimes to stop the rush. But sometimes that's just not enough. People are going to be running like, what, 1 Curlia, 1 Vibrava, maybe 2, or a Mr. Mime just to stop 1 rush. But how are you going to stop assholes like me that have multiple Lunalas and Marshadows and other figures that can go through other figures? I think with a better offense. I think with Nebby. So I have 2 matches to show you guys. We did not pull anything good. That's really upsetting. Let's see if we can actually get a wheel, possibly. No, I only got 1. But the gym's gonna start in I think a couple hours. So like I said, I just want to try and get my 11 streak. That's it. I'm trying to get my trophies. That's all I'm really focused on in this gym. But like I said, Nebby, I'm about to show you why. Match number 1. All right, these matches came from the hall. It was actually the last couple gyms. I haven't been able to actually run any practice decks in the gym just because I've been busy with work in the gym. But initially, how I set up the deck, I have double Lunala, Zoro, Marshadow. Like Lunala is gonna be hitting for like what, 200, especially when it's chained to 10. Yeah, so it's gonna be hitting for 200. Well, this one is. This one's not because it's only chained to 1. But then we do have the Nebby and the Lele, and I was rocking the switch. So here's the thing. Let's say you go first. You move right here. The opponent is gonna have to block off whatever you're rushing with. You know, if you're rushing with your Lunala, Marshadow, they're gonna have to block it off with what? Curlia, something that cannot stop a figure from going through. So then what do you do the following turn? You move the Lunala right here, and the opponent can't bring anything over here. They're going to have to cover up goal. Because if they bring something right here to block it off, you just hop over, boom. DC, get the teleport cheese, GG boys. Now, I mean, if they had multiple, like, Vibravas or Vibrava, Ralts, Curly, or Mr. Brown, whatever, then you would have to play accordingly. But if they do play defensive, then what are you going to do? You're going to put your Lunala, or not your Lunala, but the Nebby on their entry point. And then what? Your Nebby is pretty much useless because you can rush up with another figure and you can try to take out the goalie, but you can't surround with the Nebby. So that's why I think it's real imperative to actually bring the switch with it. So if you're going to rush with Nebby, they cover goal, you bring Nebby here, then you pull the switch, and then you can threaten the surround. So we're just going to watch how this first match goes. My opponent is going to bring up the Lunala, and I actually make a big mistake here. The Marshadow should not be there. It should definitely be another Lunala because he could attack right here if he wanted to. But look at that. I covered my goal, he went first, and now there's this amount of pressure, and there's nothing he can do. He has to goal block, or he has to cover goal. He couldn't have a cover goal, especially not with the Aggron, and we're going to DC, and we get the teleport cheese right away. That's the amount of pressure I think Nebby brings, especially when the opponent has multiple figures that can cover your entry point. Now, obviously, that one wasn't a great showcasing. I just wanted to show how offensively Nebby could be. Now we have a better match I'll show you. All right, like I said, this one is going to be a little better. This player, they do have the Gardevoir. They also have a Nebby, so I was super excited to see a Nebby. They got the Lele, they got the Sableye that goes into Mega Sableye. They have Mewtwo. I think it's Mewtwo Y. Yeah, it's Mewtwo Y. And a 3-star. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. So I was actually trying to record this video earlier, and McKenna texts me freaking out. She's like, she says this to me, all right? Sorry, I'm going to rant for a second. I ignored the call because I'm making a video, and then she texts me, it's your fault if I die. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Don't tell me that. So I stopped recording. I called her like 5 different times, nothing. And she called me back. She's fine. Everything's cool. Yeah, so sorry about that interruption. Anyway, as we're going over the opponent's figures, they do have the Mewtwo with the Psycho Shove. Going to be a 3-star because they are rocking the Lele, well, obviously when they attack. But more importantly, they have a Nebby as their own. So I was really excited to see somewhat of a mirror match. And I think my opponent goes first, yeah. So they're going to go first, and they're going to bring the Nebby on. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Lele on so I can have the extra star. And I have to cover up goal here. Good thing it doesn't have the Gothitelle. Although I think squared deck can actually work. But he's going to bring up the Gardevoir, and I'm like, this is perfect because the Gardevoir or whatever can stop a figure from moving through is the #1 enemy to Nebby. And since he's already bringing it on, I'm like, sweet, we can just bring on the Lunala. Lunala's not a problem. Lunala can counter this thing fairly well. So he's going to bring up the Mewtwo next, and I'm going to put the Nebby here because the plan is to bring Nebby all the way over here. He brings a Sableye. I'm like, perfect. So now I'm going to threaten the game. He's going to cover up, and then I'm going to bring on just some other figures just for some insurance. He's going to try to threaten surround me. I'll bring on the Marshadow, and now we have the perfect setup. Now we have the godly Lunala, the 200 damage Lunala, and the 3-star Moongeist Beam. So now we can safely take the entry point. Good, but what can Nebby do here on the entry point? Nothing really. But that's why we had to switch. I initially had the scoop up because I was afraid there was going to be a lot of status in this gym. So when I do get status by my Lunala, we're just going to scoop up and we're going to heal him. But I think the switch is going to be more viable, especially for the rush, the early game. So we put it there. Now I'm just waiting for a chance. So the goal here is I'm going to try to bring up my Lunala. I also am rocking the X speed. I think you need the X speed if you're pretty purple heavy like me. So he's going to Mega Evolve and move up, and I'm like, okay, I think you're going to just try and get rid of my Lele, so I have to move closer and play a little defensive. And now he's going to DC. He's going to go for that blue whatever it is to try to get rid of my Lunala. I'm like, no, you cannot take my Lunala. If anything, you can take my Zoro, and that is fine, and that is exactly what he does. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Now it's time. We're going to pull the switch. So we switch with Lunala, and we actually switch with my white heavy Lunala. I have 2 Lunalas that are level 10. This one is chained 1, but all my Carmenite is into the Psychic. So now that I switch, he's going to advance with the Mewtwo. I'm like, that's actually fine, doesn't matter. But we survived the roll, because if he won, I would have been able to bring on Lele. But because of that, now what I can do here is I can move up the Marshadow. He's going to take the entry point, and now I can X speed. Now we can go after this Sableye, and that's pretty much GG, boys. Like, that has such a large white. I'm like, let's go, get out of here. I was like, I would have been so salty if I did not win that roll, but we do, and there really isn't much my opponent can do. I mean, they can DC, they can get the purple, and then I would surround, and then he can attack with the Lunala the following turn. That's the only option, but it's not that likely. I do get the Moongeist Beam. He gets the Moonblast, and even better, like I said, he could have got his purple, could have surrounded, could have taken out my Mars Shadow, or he could have landed the dodge. But that is GG boys to BTZ Josh. So that is why I think you guys should think about using Nebby in this gym. I think a better offense is better than a defense, such as having the routes, the Vibravas. I think 1 or 2 is not enough. I think 1 with Nebby or 2 with Nebby is going to be ideal for you guys. So please consider that. And before we go, we just reached 2,500 subs tomorrow morning in like 12 hours. We're going to have a celebration for reaching 2,500 subscribers. There will be giveaways. So make sure you tune in, okay? Because it's going to be a celebration. It's going to be a good time. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, as always, peace.